Hey guys, welcome to the session on Microsoft Azure Virtual Networks by GamutGurus. As you guys know, Microsoft Azure is one of the best and the leading cloud service provider in the marketplace. Let's go through the agenda. At first, we'll be covering what is virtual network categories, benefits of virtual network, Azure Virtual Network, what is Azure Virtual Network features, its pricing, security, and the security rules, and the Azure Virtual Network service tax. As you guys got to know about today's agenda for this session, let's deep dive into what is virtual network. A virtual network is a network in which all the devices, servers, virtual machines, and the connected data centers are made up of a software and the wireless technology. This allows network access to be extended to the point where it is needed for the optimal performance in addition to many other benefits. As I talked about what is virtual network, let's talk about how it works. The virtual network uses modern technology to build an extended network that works wirelessly. There are three types of virtual network: virtual switch software, performance software on hosting servers that allows us to set up and configure a virtual network. And the second one is mobile network, required as a virtual network infrastructure host in virtual devices and the devices that are connected to the network and allowed for a variety of functions. Servers, part of a virtual network hosting infrastructure. If we talk about the categories of virtual network, there are three types of categories of virtual network: VPN, VLAN, VXLAN. VPN defined as virtual private network, while VLAN is defined as virtual local area network, and the VXLAN defined as virtual extensive local area network. As we have covered what are the categories of virtual network, so we'll be covering what is virtual private network. A VPN, that is represented as virtual private network, basically it uses the internet to connect two or more existing networks. This virtual internet based network allows users to access from any access to connect virtual networks. VPNs are used to hide internet uses on public Wi-Fi and ensures secure browsing. Let's talk about what is virtual local area network. The virtual local area network, that is abbreviated as VLAN, uses the partition to make group devices on the LAN network in the resource enabled and this configuration settings used for each. Using a VLAN allows for better security, monitoring, and the management of a devices and servers with a specific domain. Let's talk about what is virtual extensive LAN, that is virtual extensive local area network, is a proposed protocol for installing a duplicate network in the existing layer 3 infrastructure. A dynamic network is a virtual network that builds on existing layer 2 and the layer 3 technologies that support flexible computer architecture. Virtual extensive local area network will make it easier for computer developers to measure computer environment while explicitly separating cloud applications and the networks. As we have covered the categories of virtual network, let's deep dive into the benefits of the virtual networks. Remote work skills, digital security, and the cost savings. In remote work skills, network communication allows people to access their networks from anywhere in the world. While in case of digital security, by using a network connection, you can make your network more secure by using features such as encryption, translation, and domain segments. While in case of cost savings, by reducing net hardware, businesses benefits by saving money on hardware costs and their maintenance. Till now, in this session, as we have covered what is virtual network, what are their benefits and their categories, let's deep dive into what is Azure Virtual Network. Azure Virtual Network, that is AVNet, is a representation of your network in the cloud. It is a logical division of the dedicated Azure cloud for your subscription. You can use VNets to provide and manage Azure private VPNs, virtual private networks, and optionally connect VNets or with your local IT infrastructure to build hybrid or internal solutions. Let's talk about what are the features of MS Azure VNet, Azure Virtual Network. If we talk about the features of Azure Virtual Networks, the communication between the Azure resources, the synchronization, VPN gateway, that is Virtual Private Network Gateway, internet connections between the networks, local connection, point to site means virtual private network to SSTP, express route, border gateway protocol, user defined. If we talk about Azure Virtual Network pricing, in Azure Virtual Network, the pricing is free. Virtual network peering connects two virtual networks either in the same region or in different region and enables us to move traffic between them using private IP addresses, that is Internet Protocol addresses. Network feature such as VPN gateway, that is Virtual Private Network Gateway, and the application gateway that operates within the virtual network are also charged. In the recent scenarios, you guys know that there is a security flaws and the major issue is with security. But in case of Azure network security, there are no certain issues. The network security team has security rules that allows or disable incoming or outgoing network traffic to various types of Azure resources that we will host or on our virtual Azure network. In Azure security rules structures, there is name, source or location, protocol, and the port range. As you guys got to know about what is Azure network security, let's deep dive into the security rules structures. In Azure, there are four types of security rules structures. The first one is name, then important, source or location, and the protocol. While in case of name, the network name must be different within the network security group. While in case of important, the security rules are considered in a critical order with a low number of priorities. While in case of source or location, the ability to specify multiple IP addresses, that internet protocol addresses, and the scope of the rule is referred to an extended security rules. If we talk about the protocol, the TCP and the UDP, etc. In case of port range, we can specify a person or a range of ports. Let's talk about what are Azure service tags. In Azure service tags, the service tag represents a group of IP addresses, prefixes to help reduce the difficulty of creating security rules. We were unable to create our service tag or to specify which IP address or internet protocol address was included within the tag. In Microsoft Azure, Azure manages the startup addresses associated within the service tag and automatically updates the service tag as a change of address. As you guys got to know about what are the Azure service tags, let's talk about what are the types of Azure service tags. There are three types of Azure service tags. First one is storage service tag, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Key Vault. If we talk about the Azure storage service tag, this tag refers to the IP address, that is Internet Protocol address space of the Azure storage service. If you specify value storage, traffic is allowed or restricted to the storage. While in case of Azure Cosmos DB, this tag refers to the start addresses of the Azure Cosmos database services. If we talk about Azure Key Vault, this tag refers to the beginning addresses of the Azure Key Vault app. If you specify Azure Key Vault by pricing, traffic is allowed or restricted to the Azure Key Vault app using pricing. Now we got to know about what is virtual network categories, benefits of virtual network, Azure virtual network, Azure virtual network features, its pricing, security, and the service tags. Let's deep dive into the demo session of Azure Virtual Network. For creating Azure Virtual Network, the first step is to log in into your Azure portal account using your Azure account credentials. First, you have to click on Azure Virtual Network. You can select Azure Virtual Network from here, or you can also go through more services and select from here. Or you can also search it in the search bar as Azure Virtual Network. Once you select Azure Virtual Network, you can see that in the Azure Virtual Network, we are not having any virtual network. So we have to create our new virtual network. For creating a new virtual network, you have to click on create. Once we click on create virtual network, you can see in the basics option, here is the option in the project details called subscriptions. In the subscription, you can see that I am using the free trial account. You can also use the pay as you go pricing. In the resource group, you can see that the resource group is defined as a resource group is a collection of resources that share the same lifecycle permissions and the policies. As you can see that I am not having any of the resource group, so I will be creating my own resource group. As click on create and then demo resource. So click on OK. Once you click on OK, you can see that there is a new resource group as demo resource. So in the instance details, we can name an instance as demo instance, demo insta. For the region, will be there are several different regions. We'll be using the East US as the recommended one. So for as you can see that in the subscription, I am using the free trial account and the resource group is named as demo resource and the name as demo insta. For that region, we'll be using the East US. So click on the next IP address. Once you click on next IP address, you can see that here is the IPv4 address space is by default. So we'll be using our own IP as we'll be using different IP address as a 40.0.0.0/16. So once you click on create another IP address, so click, you can also select another IPv6 address space and give here's the IP address. So we'll not be giving any address. So and you can see that in the subnet option, the subnet address range in CIDR notation, it example is given like 192.168.1.0/24. It must be contained by the address space of the virtual network. So we'll be using the default subnet, or we can also create a new subnet. So we'll be creating a new subnet by clicking on add subnet. Once we click on add subnet, we can also give a name as demo subnet and the subnet mask as 40.0.1.0/24. So we'll be using the same subnet address range, and this range contains 40.0.1.0 to 40.0.1.255. Here 251 plus 5 Azure reserved addresses. So in the net gateway, what is net gateway? Net gateway. It also specifies that is simplify connectivity to the internet using a network address translation gateway. So we'll not be using any of the net gateway. So it will be on default, and we can also use services. So we can also use Azure Microsoft Azure Active Directory or Azure Cosmos DB, cognitive services, event hubs, key vault services, and all. So we'll not be using any of the services. So click on add. Once you click on add, you can see that here's another subnet created. So we'll be selecting the default and the subnet demo subnet also. So we will be moving towards the security parts. When we'll be moving toward the subnet security, here's the bastion host. What is bastion host? It is also represented here that the Azure Bastion Services is a new fully platform managed PaaS, that is platform as a service that you provision inside your virtual network. It also provides services, secure services, and the seamless RDP./SSH connectivity to our virtual machines directly in the Azure portal over SSL. So we'll be using the default settings. The DDoS protection standard is also there. So what is a DDoS? A DDoS protection plan is a paid service that offers enhanced DDoS mitigation capabilities via adaptive tuning. So it shows that DDoS protection standard is a paid service, so we'll not be using it is on default, so as selected as disable. So for the firewall, what is firewall? Azure Firewall is a managed cloud-based network security service that protects the Azure Virtual Network resources. So we'll not be using any of the resources. So click on we'll be selecting the disable. So for creating text, So we'll be clicking on next and text. Once we click on text, we will be naming the text as it is showing that the text are the names slash value pairs that enables us to categorize resources and the value view consolidated billing by applying the same tag to multiple resources and the resource flow. So we'll be naming some tags as demo resource and its value will be ABC. We'll be giving demo subnet as XYZ. We'll be choosing the demo instance name as QWE. Be selecting some new instance, giving name as new instance. I'm selecting as PQR. Once we'll give the tags, there are 4 tags that I have given the name, and once you have given the tag name and their values, so click on review plus create. Once you click on review plus create, you can see the options that you have selected. It is processing, so it will take some time. Yeah, it shows that validation passed. So once you see in the basics option, the subscription is free trial, because I am not using the pay as you go pricing. I will be using the free trial account, so it is showing that it is free trial account. And in the resource group, it shows that demo resource, because I have named my resource group as demo resource, so it is showing. And the name of the my instance as demo insta, and the region that I have selected is East US, so it is showing the East US. For the IP address, I have selected the IP address space as a 10.0.0.0/16 and 40.0.0.0/16. So the subnet mask is, I have selected the default and have created also with my own. So the default will be 10.0.0.0/24, and the demo subnet will be 40.0.0.1.0/24. And I have created some text also, name as demo resource with the value ABC, demo subnet with the value XYZ, demo instance with the value QWE, and the new instance with the value PQR. And this, if we talk about the security, I am not using any of the security. So the DDoS protection, I will be using the basic, and the firewall is disabled, and the version host will be disabled. So once you see that all the things that we have selected is okay, so click on create. Once you click on create, it will be showing the notification as initializing deployment. It shows that the submitting the deployment template for a resource. Once you see that the new option is there, so it will be showing that the virtual network is created and the deployment is in process. You can see the deployment name is Microsoft.virtual name virtual network, and the subscription, that is free trial, because I am using the free trial account. So, and the resource group is demo resource. You can see that the status is created, and yeah, so our deployment is succeeded. It shows the notification deployment Microsoft.virtual network to resource group. This name, because I have given this name demo resource, was successful. Once you click on go to resource, you can also go from here, and you can also select from here. You can also select demo details. So once you select the demo insta resource, operation details is here. So it shows that the resource group is demo resource and the location is this, and the subscription ID is C63EC493-. Address space is 10.0.0.0/16, and I've given one more address space, so it shows the one more. And the DNS server is Azure provided DNS service, so it shows me. And the text that I have created is demo resource value with ABC, demo subnet, XYZ, demo instance, QWE, the new instance named as PQRT value. We can also go through here. We can see the text that I have created and the access control, because I haven't given any IAM. So we can also click on add and create some IAM. We'll be overviewing that, and once you can create the virtual network, you can also search it in the virtual network. Once you click on virtual network, you can see that previously we don't have any of the virtual network. You can see that we have created a new virtual network named as demo insta, that we have given this name is showing because we have given our instance name as a demo insta and the resource group name as demo resource. You can see that once you click on demo resource, it shows the virtual network with the event. You can also delete the virtual network by clicking on delete, and you can also, do you want to delete the virtual network demo install? Yes. Once you click on yes, it will take some time and will delete the virtual network. It shows that the deleting virtual network demo install. As it is processing, so yeah, deleted virtual network, successfully deleted virtual network demo install. Let's talk about the key takeaways from this session. In this session, we talked about what is virtual network categories, the benefits of virtual network, what is Azure Virtual Network, its features, pricing, security, security rules, and the service tags. And we also talked about how we can create a virtual network in the Azure portal and also give the subnet mask. Hope you guys have enjoyed this session. We'll meet you in the next session with more services on Azure.